Awesome. Okay, Eric, I think you can take it away. We are going to talk today about the Q1 updates that we have been able to complete. And then, of course, we will always tease other things that are in progress and you can look forward to.
Great. Yeah, it's crazy that we're in April already. I thought we just had this webinar, but we didn't. It was 4 months ago almost. So to kick us off today, I'm going to kind of talk about something that I hear a lot, and it's basically that, we know Followup does so much, but we only use the core parts of the system, and we want to get more out of Followup CRM. And so the way I like to describe it is that, we all have our iPhones or Androids, and on your phone, you might have like, I don't know, if you're like me, I have like 50 apps on my phone. But the reality is I only use probably like 5 of them, right? My phone, texting, maybe some social media, email. But I don't say I'm not getting everything out of my iPhone, right? Because I'm using the core features of the system. And so that's what we really should be concentrated on when getting the value out of the system is, are we tracking our projects, our customers, our contacts? Are we following up the core basics? Because that's where a lot of the value lies, right? And so if you need help getting the most out of Followup CRM, I just have this slide here of different service offerings that we have just to get the most out of the system. And some of those might include like integrations, setup, and rollout. A lot of people say like, I don't want to, integrate it and then break it because maybe I don't know what I'm doing. We'll help you with that, right? Maybe you hired some new salespeople, estimator, project managers that need to get brought up to speed. We can do that. Champion training. A champion is maybe like a manager or a VP or whoever at your company is really driving the day-to-day usage and needs to like make edits to the system, the drop downs, the reports, the automations, things like that. That's what a champion training is. And then separately, we have automation set up and rollout. A lot of people might be intimidated by automations where they're like, okay, it could do anything, but how do I get started? And so we can help you like come up with your processes, like when a project goes into this status, send an email to this person, this coordinator, or whoever it is, right? That's an example of automation. And so an automation is like an if-then statement in the system. If this happens, then do this, right? So we can help kind of plan that out. And then reporting workshops, we do this all the time where they're like, okay, I see your standard reports. Could you help me with some customized reporting? I really want to see this information. We can help kind of put that together, or just like a general Q&A. So if you're ever interested in that, reach out to us either through the chat, like Sarah mentioned, or to your account manager, Isaiah, Christine, whoever it is, and then we'll be happy to help you. So hopping into the meat and potatoes, I want to talk about again how we built Followup CRM and how we build it into the future. So here you can see that's the help icon. You're able to suggest a feature. You can see that right here. And also check out recent updates. So what that will help you do is say, hey, it would be really great if, Followup could do X, Y, or Z. We build these features based off of customer feedback, right? So for example, recently, we've probably had 5 to 7 requests in the past week around Procore. So now we're taking a look at our Procore integration, see if there's ability to enhance it, and then involve customers to say, okay, is this really solving your need? So that's just one example that we're thinking about right now. So that's how we build the product. And so here we go. That's kind of the product development cycle. I won't bore you with that. And so let's get into what we've done so far this year. We've done so much this year already. As I was kind of preparing for today, I was like, oh, wow, look at all we did. And we're just going to talk about the major things. So we release updates at least monthly. And so sometimes you might notice the changes, other times it might be tweaks here and there, but the major things, the first major thing, oh no, the image is broken.
Now
Let me
it
see if I
really
can,
looks classified. Top secret.
I
Magic ink.
this is it might be a government document or something. Let me see if I can,
And I'll go ahead and put some information in here, Eric, for those champions, for those admins or owners at your company who hold the keys. We make sure that every month we are kind of rolling up the biggest updates that we do and sending those out in a newsletter, our product updates email. So you're getting those. And then on a quarterly basis, we will be doing that to all of our users. So like after this webinar, we'll make sure that we package it up and that you get those things. We never want to overwhelm you because like Eric said, if you were getting a push notification from every single app on your iPhone, you would go crazy, right? But we still want you to be in the loop and see the progress that we're making.
exactly. So rather than just show you a screenshot of it, I'm going to show you it live in our testing environment. And so what we have here is new security levels. And so right now we have about 8 different security levels that are, we'll say they're rigid, meaning we have like a view only. We have staff, which only allows you to view the projects or contacts assigned to you. We have a manager level, which allows you to see the information that's assigned to you and your team. We have a senior manager or executive level, which gives you some extra reporting capabilities. And then we also have like system admins, which allows you to make changes. And so what I mean by rigid is we have these 8 defined security levels, but we cannot change that. And so what we find is that, people say, okay, I want them to view only this, but I want to lock down this. And so that what the new security levels allows us to do. And that goes live this month. So here's basically what it looks like here in your company settings area. The new people tabs, which were, this is what it looks like. So here, let's say I wanted to check out a user. You can see all the people here. You can see their roles, different information about them, if their emails connected, really just kind of building out this. And those security levels that I was talking about, they're here under permission sets, right? So these are the ones that we currently have, but now they're flexible and they're customizable, right? So if I wanted to edit these, I can create a new preset, right? Maybe there's something here that that's not exactly what I need. I can create a new one. But if I want to come in here, I can come in and edit. And then what we have on this left-hand side of the system are the major objects and parts of the system that you can either restrict or you can broaden, I guess, for the view and to edit and to access. So for example, project, companies, and contacts, I could come here and say view, edit, delete, or export. This is another big issue. So let's say somebody, is potentially leaving the company. You don't want them to export the data from the system, right? Maybe you only want people to export that are like senior level or something like that, right? So this allows you to create those granular permission sets so that you can do whatever you want, right? So here are the main objects: project, company, contacts, right? Project management, view, edit, delete, export. So other areas that you can kind of edit is like your ERP integration. We have customers that maybe they're using, Sage or Viewpoint or Foundation or whatever ERP that you're integrated with and pushing data from Followup into your ERP. We have some companies that say we want everybody to push data into the ERP. We have other companies that say we only want 1 or 2 people to do that. All right. And so you can give that permission to some people and not to others. And what that allows you to do is like, for example, with an ERP, you'll have a button on the project page that says sync, right? Or push or pull. This gives the visibility to that button to that person that you're assigning the security level set for. And then, obviously company settings where you can, allow people to edit this or that within the system. So that has been something that's been highly requested for a long time. So excited to be releasing that here this month. Let's go back into presentation mode, see if the rest of my images work. All right. So the next thing we have here on the dock is ERP sync. This is also coming live in April. And so right now, our ERP integrations are manual, I'll call it, where you have the button within the system and you have to click push or create in Foundation or create in Viewpoint, and that will push it over into your ERP system. What this does, it allows you to set up almost like an automation where if there's a project in the one status that has not been pushed over and it's 11 p.m. because the person forgot to do it, this will automatically kind of take care of that and do almost like a clean sweep over into there. So you can do that for different objects within the system for like projects, companies, contacts, change orders, work orders for like your service, contracts, a lot of different things within your ERP. So there's kind of 2 philosophies. Some people want the manual click. It's only like a 1-click push, but other people say, sometimes people forget. And so that's what this takes care of. So that's what we have there. That's coming live this month as well. Then the next thing we have, probably the most exciting. Oh, I'll tease that for later. It's on the next slide, not this slide. The next thing we have here is countersigner for your proposals that go out. This is a new workflow where, let's say I'm a sales guy and Sarah's the manager, and Sarah's the one that finally approves the proposal. I can send the proposal out. The customer can sign the proposal, but then the countersigner is the one internally that says, okay, customer assigned, now Sarah signed, approving this proposal, mutual agreement on both sides, legally binding agreement. That's what the countersigner does. And so here you can see that you can add different users within the system. They have to be a user within the system, and you can add their name as a signature. So here you can see, the customer signatures down here. You can see, different users that we've added. So you can set up different workflows of like, maybe you have to get the VP and the owner to sign, whatever kind of signatures you need to capture, you can do that there. Now, the most anticipated one, probably. It's funny for me, like this feature, I don't get it, but I'm doing it because our customers want it, right? I get it. I get why this is so popular. It's cool. It's intuitive. But I'm more of like a list kind of person. I like to see everything in a checklist, but everybody else wants to see things. Oh, I missed it again. I'm going to skip ahead and we're going to go to the Kanban board.
I think, this is us really just living out, practicing what we preach of customer first. It's not about us. It's about what you guys want.
It's about you guys.
and whether you've used it in another software before, and also whether you say Kanban or Kanban, because that's
Yeah,
just a fun
it's
little
debatable.
discussion we like to have. One definitely sounds more pretentious, but either
Post it,
way, this is
post
now an option.
in the chat. Is it
Yes.
Kanban or Kanban? I don't know.
Yes. Do
Um,
you pronounce it with the H or without?
yes, Kanban or Kanban. So Kanban's coming. I guess I say Kanban. That's probably like an American accent of it. But that's coming in May. So we're almost done with development with this. We're excited. But here you can see that you have the drag and drop of your projects from this stage to this stage to this stage, and so on and so forth. So it's exciting because you're going to be able to really group your projects by a major group, and we'll call it here a minor group or a subgroup, and then users. So one very nice application is, let's say you have a team of your estimators, and you want to see where their projects are at by person, by status, right? So what you'll have here is the status right here, and then you'll have the subgroup can be by estimator, right? And then you'll see, Eric, Sarah, Isaiah going down, and then your projects separated by both status and by estimator. So that's something that's really cool, exciting. We're playing around with it every day already, and so it's super smooth and slick. You're going to be able to customize what is viewable on the cards and all this kind of stuff. So
I think that's something that comes up a lot when we are talking to people in the sales process. It's like how to keep your team accountable, right? And this is a different way to view that. Just making sure that you have extreme ownership. Like if it's in this lane, some people call them
it,
swim lanes, that's
yeah,
on you, right? And
right, right.
the whole idea, there's different Kanban trainings around pulling versus pushing. So instead of your teammate having to say, like, hey, take the baton, it's your turn to run the race, you are taking the initiative and making sure that you're moving on to the next step and getting things through the pipeline quicker.
Yeah, yeah, and I like that where I like this because it's more of a workflow, right? So step one, step two, and you're feeling like you're progressing forward when it comes to Kanban, where like maybe if it's just a status, it feels not as, progress forward, right? Christy, why do you like Kanban? What makes you excited for that? Post in the chat there. I'm curious to
It is
hear.
pumped. Yeah, I want to hear real world cases because you have to remember we've got people in the construction industry, all different kind of specialties, subs, general contractors. So it's really fascinating to us to hear how you customize it and it's going to help you in the real world.
Cool. There's just what I said. I nailed it. That's because I'm talking to our customers, and that's what they say. So it's great. And that's the cool thing about building out features and just talking to our customers so much is we're really solving problems that are presented, and so we have a really tight feedback loop to what is told, and then this was the number one requested feature last year, and so we're getting it done.
I think it is that gratification, Eric, is kind of what Christy's getting to. It's like the satisfaction you get from crossing something off your to-do list. Well, this is the digital version.
Oh, like a real post-it. Oh, okay. I like that. I like that. That's cool. So that's coming. Going live in May, just a few weeks here. A small feature that you're able to do now is advanced search multi-select. So you can see I did a little example here. Before, you could only select one drop-down. But here, if you want to group in, several account managers, you can group several account managers together and then filter your projects by all of those people there. So small little update, highly requested. So that's how we do it. So hopefully you can tell that, we're building this according to customers' requests. So if you have anything, again, go and suggest features. We're not going to promise that we're going to build it, but if it's not on the board, then we don't know. And then other people don't know that it might be there, right? So if it's on the board, then other people can go in and vote up on your suggestion, and that's how we plan. So definitely go in and do that. All right, coming soon. So now that we've talked about what we've done so far, we're going to talk about what's coming. So what we're going to be doing is a massive update to the activities tab, and it's going to include something we call an inbox. So the inbox is going to be the place that you live. Think about all of the different actions you take on a project or on a contact or a company, putting notes or tagging people. Everything's going to roll up into your activities tab, into your inbox. So right now, if you go to your activities tab, you'll see all your sales activities there, red and green, depending on what's due. But now you're going to be able to like follow up with your follow-ups in the activities tab without clicking into the project, right? You're going to be able to do it right from that page. So if you want to bang out like 10 follow-ups all at once, you'll be able to do that project by project right within the activities tab. So it helps you follow up faster, schedule the next step, communicate internally faster. So let's say, here's an example where maybe you need a manager approval on a project. You can say, hey, Sarah, do you approve this project? Right within the inbox. Sarah will get a notification. That notification goes to her inbox. She can reply right there. So it really kind of consolidates the back and forth. Because right now on the project page, if you go to the project page, you have to scroll all the way to the bottom, right? So what this is going to do is surface those notes, the most recent notes, and put it all in one place. So super excited about that. And once that's built out, we're going to be able to optimize it with AI. So that's really cool.
As somebody who always has a lot of tabs open, I'm excited about this one because the minute that you have to click through to something new, the probability that you're going to get distracted, right? And that you have that context switch is so much more likely. But
Right.
like Eric said, we're just smoothing out the workflow.
Right. And no more like the back and forth, this page, that page, this page. I just want my checklist of all the things I have to get done. And one thing that's really helpful that is see to reply to project emails. So let's say you're following up with 10 projects and all of those customers email back and we track those emails to the project file. You're going to see that reply in your inbox, right? For all 10 projects on one page. So that's huge. That's right. Now you don't have to click into 10 projects, scroll down. So it's going to save you so much time. And I'm super excited about this. This is going to be really nice when it comes out.
Yeah, and that's the thing that we talk about so often with AI as well, is that it's not about replacing you, it's about making your effort go further. Or like
Right.
using the multiplication factor. So you're just going to be able to do things much faster and you're going to hopefully feel more accomplished and be able to see the results as well.
Love it. So the last thing that we have here is our marketing automation. So again, highly requested. So we're going to do it. Basically, Followup right now mostly focuses on sales. Yeah, we have a little bit of like emailing capabilities where you can do, we call it a bulk email, but it's really intended to be kind of like direct from the salesperson or direct from the estimator. But what this is going to allow is kind of like a MailChimp or constant contact type of feature within Followup. And so I think Sarah, correct me if I'm wrong, it's called broadcast email. Is that the right term?
Yeah, that's one of the terms. There's lots of different terms for this, but I know that anybody who's on the financial side is thinking about this of like, oh, what can I cancel? How is Followup going to meet another need?
Exactly. So what we're going to do is hopefully you can cancel your constant contact or your MailChimp that you might be using for those, broad emails like a monthly email, for just staying on top of the mind of your customers, and do that right within the system, right? And then you're going to be able to see in their contact profile, oh, they received this newsletter last month, and really centralize all the communications that you're doing with your customer under the customer profile. So that's going to be huge. That's what this kind of little graphic represents. So you can see, oh, they opened email newsletter number 1, 2, 3, but they didn't open this one, or they're really engaged with this email or that email, right? So that's coming soon. That's probably going to be in Q4, and then the inbox will be in Q3. So I know that's always the question: when? So that's what's coming, and
as fast as we can, right?
that's as fast as we can, right? So that's product roadmap 2025. We're hitting the 30-minute mark, but if there's any questions, love to hear them in a chat. So post if you have any questions. But that's what we have for you today.
Awesome. Yes. And we always put the calendar hold on there for an hour to make sure that we leave enough time for you guys to ask questions. If there's healthy conversation that everyone can benefit from, never feel like you have a dumb question, because there's probably somebody else thinking that. You can be the one to bring it up. I'll just recap real quick what we went over, and maybe this will bring something to mind. So we talked about new security levels live this month, coming in April. We talked about that ERP sync also happening this month, or you can either manually or do an auto push option. The proposal countersigner to make sure that you're getting all the right signatures. Kanban, Kanban, board view coming next month in May. And then we've got that multi-select advanced search, which is a little tweak, but we heard it loud and clear, made it happen. And then in Q3, new inbox, Q4, marketing automations. That's what we did.
Perfect. Love it. Alrighty, y'all. Since there's no questions in the chat, next steps, if you're interested in learning more or need help with either services or just introducing your team to these new features, look out for the product email that Sarah sends out. We're going to send out, recording of this, and go to the help center for any articles and videos about these new features. But again, if you need implementation help, it's all about implementation, right? It's great if we build it, but then we have to teach others how to use it. Reach out to us. Happy to hop on a call, help you guys out. All righty, everybody.
Exactly. So this recording you will get from a Zoom email. And then if you want to mark your calendar in advance, we do these on the 3rd Thursday of the month. Our customer success webinar, you get to hear straight from Eric. On the product side from Christy. Sometimes you get to see Christine and Isaiah again. So make sure to pencil us in, and we'll see you next time.
All righty. Bye.
Bye.